Okay, so I promised I was going to draw some ray tracing diagrams, and here we go. So I've got this set of rules here. This one says flat and then focal point. This one says focal point and flat, and this one says center. These are kind of three things that I keep in the back of my head when I draw these ray tracing diagrams, and if you adjust your thinking just a little bit, it works for all these. So let me get started with the diverging lens, because I think that's easier to follow. I'm going to draw a flat or a horizontal line over, and even though I know that you know that this one refracts up and then up again, I'm not going to bother drawing both of those. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take this line, I'm going to take it flat, and I'm going to go to the center here of the axis of the lens, and I'm going to draw this arrow out this way. How did I know it goes that way? Well, this light ray, it diverges, it comes apart, it splits, but it looks like it came from down here. It looks like it came from this focal point. And then you draw another line toward the far focal point. So I'm trying to aim at this target right here. We'll see how good a job I can do. So I'm trying to go toward that focal point. But when I get to the center of the lens, it flattens out and goes this way. This light ray looks like it came from back here. And then the third line, I'm just going to go right through the center of the lens, and I'm just going to keep on going. So I'm going to draw a line like this, and it just keeps on going straight. So all three of these lines, if you trace them back, they all look like they come from one place. And that one place they look like they came from is right here. So what does that mean? That means that's where the top of my flower is going to appear, and then the body of my flower is right here. It's still right side up. It's very small. Sorry, my drawing skills aren't the best. I should have made this lens bigger and stuff, but oh well. But it's right side up, and it's smaller, and it's in this neighborhood right here. So that's the easy one. That's the diverging lens. With the converging lens, what's going to happen is, I know that you guys know that if a light ray comes in flat, it gets refracted on its way in and on its way out of the lens. I'm not going to do both those, this one and this one. I'm only going to do this. I'm going to draw a line that goes straight in. So this is my flat line, and then I'm going to go through this focal point and just keep on going. So that's this one right here, flat and then focal point. Then I'm going to go through this close focal point, and then once I hit the lens, I'm just going to go flat. And then I'm going to draw a third one that just goes right through the center, and it goes like this. And if you're using a ruler, which you probably should do, this will look a lot neater, but these lines look like they come together right here. So that means that my flower is going to appear right here. And since these light rays I was drawing from the top of the plant come to here, that's where the top of the plant is. The flower's right here. And then you'd have your stem coming down and your leaves. So this object is upside down, and it looks to me like it's a little bit smaller. I'd have to measure it, but yeah, it looks to me like it's a wee bit smaller. So I've got to do this one 2 more times because this converging lens can do a couple other things. So I'll be right back. Okay, so what if the object is closer to the lens than the focal point? And I move my focal points out a little bit here to make my drawings seem a little bit less crappy. But let's draw our lines again. So if I draw a flat line over, and then go through this far focal point that keeps on going, that's an arrow, trust me. And then if I do my center one next, that's going to go like this. And how in the heck do I use this other focal point? What do I do with that guy? Well, what you do there is you go like this. You go through here, and then he would go off sideways like this. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, these rays don't look like they ever cross. How can there be an image? Well, remember, these rays up here, we said they appeared as though they had come from this direction behind where the rays ended up going. And that's the same thing we got going here. This first ray we drew looks like it came from back here. This second ray we drew through the center looks like it came from back here. And this third ray that we drew looks like it came from back here. Now, since my drawing skills are pretty crappy, all three of these were supposed to come together right here. And I guess if you were doing a ruler or somebody was making a better video than this one, they probably would have come together in one spot. But what you wind up getting here is you wind up getting your object, and it's much bigger, and it's right side up. And so this is like using a magnifying glass. You hold your magnifying glass close to the object, and then the image that you see is a lot bigger. So this is what, right side up and bigger. And then there's one more thing that I need to tell you with this lens. So the last situation is, what if the object is at the focal point? Well, we can draw two of our lines, but we can't draw the third one. Let me show you what I mean. I can draw a flat line over. I didn't draw my lens very big here, but we draw a flat line over, and we go through that far focal point. Oh my, hold on. Okay, I just started my drawing over. So I'm going to draw my flat line over, and then I'm going to go through this far focal point, and this line, this ray, looks like it came from back here. That's pretty easy. And then I can't draw through this focal point because the object's at that focal point, but I can do my center line here. My center line is going to go toward the middle here, so it's going to go like this, and it's just going to keep on going, and it would look like it came from this way. And if it looks to you like these two lines right here, whoops, if it looks to you like this line and this line are parallel, you're right, these lines are never going to cross. So if the object is at the focal point, it makes no image. So I'm closing in on 7 minutes. You've dealt with my very poor drawings. Good luck on the ray tracing lenses quiz.